everyone to the Toledo Lucas County Library and the meeting of the Toledo Rotary Club. Now is a great time for you to check into your social media. We want you to share all the good things that you hear at the meeting today. And once you're done, please make sure you turn your ringer down. But if you hear or see something that you like and want to share it, feel free to do some little live streaming if you get a chance. Just kick us off, I'd like to ask Reggie Bradley and Whitney Keeler to come up to the podium. Reggie is going to deliver our reflection, and Whitney is going to lead us in singing the national anthem. So we will not be doing a pledge today.
Father, we beseech thee to bestow grace upon this meeting as we enjoy our fellowship one with another. May we grow in stature so that we may be able to give more to our friends in Rotary, and in turn give strength to the ideals of Rotary in service to mankind. Amen.
I am not going to be singing for you, but we're going to sing together with a musical. So join us to face the flag and sing the national anthem together.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Reggie and Whitney. Today we'll be doing the four-way test, and I'm happy to invite Mark Uridia up to lead us in that.
Little commentary. You noticed in the Star Spangled Banner, it said the Rockets. I'm just throwing that in there. All right, as you know, we're led by the Rotary four-way test, and if you will repeat after me, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Is it beneficial to all? Let's go forward today with that in mind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mark. As we begin the meeting today, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Focus CFO, and Fred Danhauser, our Toledo Rotarian. And I'd also like to thank Rotarian Adam Cassie of Keep Toledo Lucas County Beautiful for being our green sponsor for this month and helping us to all be much better as far as decreasing the waste to the landfills. Thank you, Adam. Does anyone have a guest with them today? And if so, could you come up to the floor, Mike?
President Cindy, I have as my guest today Ryan Martin, a prospective member with Goodwill Industries of Northwest Ohio.
Thank you. Welcome, Ryan.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, President Cindy. My guest is Julia Hage from Ann Grady.
Welcome, Julia.
Hello. We are joined again by Monique, who is a prospective student for Rotary Youth Exchange. She's been to our meetings before. And then we also have Kelly, the teen librarian from Main Library here.
Thank you. Welcome. Welcome to you both. Are there any visiting Rotarians in the room? Nope. All righty. At this time, I'd like to call membership co-chair Sierra Hutton up to give us a little announcement.
Hi everybody, my name is Sierra Hutton and I am the membership co-chair with Jean. And today, President Cindy actually asked me to put on a full show to remind you guys of Pints for Polios, which is coming up. So if the IT team could go ahead and just like turn down the lights, turn up the music, we're ready to do this thing. They don't have any idea what I'm talking about. I'm just messing with you. I am up here though today to remind you that Pints for Polio is this Wednesday from 4:30 to whenever we decide to leave. But there will be guest bartenders, and you can come, you can buy some drinks, you can leave donations, you can leave tips, and it'll go towards our polio fundraiser. So we would love to see you there. And yeah, that's all. If you have questions, ask Jean or myself. Thanks.
Thank you, Sierra. And those of you that would be missing the event on Wednesday because of bowling, fear not, because Tommy will be having tip jars there as well. No need for cash at either event. Jackie is creating a little scan barcode or QR code so that you can donate that well. And keep in mind that we have an anonymous donor willing to match up to $10,000 for this. So we really need you guys to open your wallets, give us your credit cards, and do all those good things this week. So, thank you. Thank you, Sierra. And without ado, I'd like to call past President Brad Rubini to the mic to tell us all about the golf club this year.
Thank you, President Cindy. We've been a little short on the golf league, but not having trophy presentations for 3 years. Actually 4, COVID stopped one. And this trophy, first date on is 1971. So it goes back a ways. And rumor has it somebody saw at a garage sale the Rotary trophy from before 1971. They didn't buy it. So that was sad to hear. I would like to invite up past champions Joe Zavak, Marty McManus. Not sure if they're here. Dan Skilder and Gary Murphy. I know Murph's here. And this league's champion, Doug Heilman and Lucas King. Gary was our 2021 champ, so he has a new paperweight.
Cool.
And we'll give you Dan's.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much.
Well, guys, congratulations. Good job. Here's your trophy. If anybody wants to get an official picture, and I don't know. Here you can hold. Okay. Congratulations. You got to store it for a year. Bring it back at Belmont in fall.
And don't take it to a garage sale. It'd be good. Thank you, Brad. It's our pleasure today to introduce a new member to our Rotary Club officially. If Yolanda Durden and Mary Mancini could come up to the podium, that would be excellent.
It's my pleasure to introduce Yolanda today as our newest Rotarian. But before we begin, I would like to call your attention to this, which you will soon be receiving in the mail. It's the second year that we have been putting out a Toledo Rotary Foundation newsletter. You'll receive it in print shortly and then again via email. It's great that we can talk about the wonderful things that we're doing in the community, but it's also great that we're reaching 150 of our alumni Rotarians with this newsletter. and their response has been great from all over the country. So watch for the newsletter, and I hope you will enjoy. As I said, I'm pleased to welcome Yolanda Durden as the newest member of the Rotary Club of Toledo. Yolanda is a Toledo native and holds a bachelor's degree from BGSU and a master's from the University of Toledo. She is currently serving as the Alumni Engagement Coordinator at St. Ursula Academy, where she is an alum, parent of an alum, and previously volunteered. Her past work experience includes Assistant Director of Admissions at Maumee Valley Country Day School and at the Toledo Public Schools. Yolanda has been married for 31 years to her college sweetheart, Roy, and they have 2 children, Elena and Alan. Elena is finishing her 3rd year at the University of Toledo Medical School, and Alan is pursuing an equestrian career. When asked about a pet peeve, she stated, "When people forget their manners, a please and thank you go a long way." Please join me in a warm Rotary welcome for Yolanda.
Well, I planned on putting Yolanda's pin on, but when I went to take her pin out, the back of the magnet fell in her bag. So I couldn't put it on, so look closely for that. All right, thank you. Thank you, Yolanda. We're so glad to have you with us. Next, I'd like to recognize 3 individuals that have met the 6 months of membership. If you're here in the room, please come up to the podium. Fred Danhauser, Kunal Dwar, and Alex Thomas. You get the whole show, Kunal. All right, get to rip off your old name tag.
Boy, I'm ready for it. The magnet keeps falling off.
Here, and you got a new one.
Perfect.
There you go.
Thank you.
Great job. Okay. Well, a few weeks ago, I had the pleasure of attending a news conference that was going to introduce the football team from Italy to come over and play in the Glass City in the Italian Bowl. Little did I know that that's what I was going to the news conference for. I had received a message from the president of the Rotary Club of Ferrara asking me to attend because he was going to be there. I didn't know what it was for. So it was super exciting to hear that we're going to be hosting the Italian Bowl at the Glass City July 1st of 2023. But when I met with, oh my gosh, I'm having a Raffaello. He had given us one of the flags from their club. When ours are in, we'll be doing the in-kind and sending ours over there. But at this time, I'd like to give this to Jackie to, I hope, hang in her office there at the Bell Building. So, there you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, sir. Wait, can you go to the mic, Yuval?
I don't know if people heard that Bill Gates is donating $1.5 billion to eradicate polio in the last 2 countries that it exists.
No, I did not know that. Thank you for sharing that. Okie dokie. All right, now we'll move on to what we all are here for, and that's to hear District Governor Diana tell us what her vision is for the district for this year. And just before I bring Ashley up to introduce her, I wanted to let all of you know that Diana and I have known each other for 30 plus years. Her husband Chad and I worked together at the 180th back in the late 80s, early 90s, and we've been friends all along. When you made a friend in the military, it's a lifetime thing. So when a couple years ago when Diana and I realized that she was going to be the district governor and I was going to be the president of the Toledo Club, we were both pretty excited that we'd be sharing. And she's been an awesome leader, getting all of us presidents ready with the president-elect's training and all the emails and the support and encouragement that she gives to us. So she's going to be great, and she's doing a great job. So at this time, I'd like to invite Assistant District Governor Ashley Zenger up to introduce Diana.
Hi, so far it's been a great day being here and getting to know everybody. You guys have such a wonderful club. So today I'd like to invite District Governor to speak. She's been a Rotarian since 2008 in her hometown of Bryan, Ohio. She retired from education in 2020. She served 13 years as superintendent and also was also taught high school business education for Bryan City and Swanton schools, and was a volleyball and softball coach. During her time as Rotary, Diana served her club as annual auction chair, foundation chair, and president, and a board member. Diane began serving as assistant district governor for Area 1 in 2018. She is a Paul Harris Plus 4 fellow member of the Paul Harris Society. Diane is a proud Rotary Reader for her school district. The Rotary Readers partner with the classrooms for the school year, and each week they come and visit with the students and read with them on a book. Diane resides in Bryan, Ohio with her husband Chad and her favorite dog Sabin, and I won't tell you too much about her kids and her grandkids, so she can tell you all about them. She's excited to serve the 62 clubs in District 6600, and she can't wait to meet all the other amazing Rotarians. So with that, Diane.
So much. Is it on? Thank you so much. I appreciate the warm welcome, and it's a pleasure to be here today. It's also a pleasure to be in the company of two of our past district governors, past District Governor Chuck Stocking and past District Governor Helen Balanis, both of whom have been so helpful and supportive of this journey that I'm on, and just a little intimidating as well. So I'll do my best up here to make them proud today. But thank you. Thank you for having me. It is a pleasure to be here today and to share a little bit of my story, a little bit of my vision, a little bit of celebration, and a little bit of a challenge for you as a club today. And Cindy, I have to say, like, you stole part of my, I was going to surprise them as well with our connection. So I might work that back in, but you at least have the background for it. So as Ashley shared, and just a little bit more about me, and first thing I have to tell you, staying anchored behind a microphone is not my best storytelling. So I apologize for that in advance, but we will do our best. I am a retired, recovering school superintendent. I served as a Bryan City Schools school superintendent for 13 years. I loved my job. It gave me the opportunity to just make a positive impact, and I love it, but I did not love it every day. There were some challenges that came up. I kind of snuck out the back door in 2020 during COVID. I did not stay retired for long. I actually, in addition to my service to Rotary this year, I do work as a director of business development for Beilharz Architects with offices in Defiance and Cincinnati. So I'm up and down the I-75 corridor quite often. And I also supervise student teachers for Bowling Green State University. I apologize that it's Bowling Green. I was a proud graduate of the University of Toledo, but Bowling Green did bring me on board as an adjunct to supervise student teachers. And I do that because I feel that there's so much that I owe to the field of education that it is kind of my duty to continue to give back. So I serve as that bridge between the students who are currently finishing up their college education before they step into their first role as a real official teacher. And then you can see I also continue to serve my community as well. Community service is very important to my family and myself. I'm a trustee of our area foundation. It is not anywhere close to what Toledo is able to provide, but it does do a lot of good work within our community. And all the way back to being a 4-H member. Junior achievement is also very near and dear to my heart. That started as a connection as a business teacher and carried on throughout the year. I also like to share a few pictures, and I did update them with a more fall theme, mostly because my first grandson, David, is growing so quickly. But from left to right on your screen, my son, Tori, and his wife, Sarah. Tori is in cybersecurity, and Sarah is a special education teacher, and they live in Alexandria, Virginia. David is 3 months old and is the joy of our life right now. My husband of 30 years, which Cindy mentioned, serves as the athletic director for Bryan City Schools. So he is quite busy finishing up fall season right now. And then my daughter, Trista, and her fiance, Logan, live in Indianapolis. My daughter is a 6th grade science teacher, and my future son-in-law is studying to be a physical therapist. I could not do what I do today without the love and support of my family. They have been behind me as a school superintendent, been along for the ride, and been so supportive and encouraging. However, I do have to share that my children, so as you're training for district governor, you have to kind of declare your intent, and then it's a 3 to 4 year process before you're actually serving. And nominations are currently open if any of you are interested in joining our line. But I sat down with our family. I'm a planner, I'm a list maker. I looked ahead, I charted out years in terms of retirements and big life events because my children at the time were in college. And I said, can we do this? And they were like, yes, Mom, we can do this. Okay, so 2022, 2023 is going to be declared the year of Mom. And so, like, no big life events, okay? Like, no big plans. Here comes David, who was born 5 days before I was installed as district governor. And my daughter decided to get engaged, and I kept telling them, not in 23, not in 23, not in 23. The wedding is set for June of 23. So, I love them dearly, but neither one of them can listen very well, and we will make it work. But now that you know a little bit about me, I want to know a little bit more about you. So just a couple of people, and I'll repeat so that you don't have to jump up to the mic, but what makes you proud of being a member of Toledo Rotary or of being just a Rotarian? What makes you proud to wear this pin? Yes.
For me, it's our contribution to the quality of life of the community in which I live.
So contribution to the quality of life in the community that you live in. Thank you. Is there someone else that would like to share? Yes.
Being associated with top people in the community who really care about what happens.
Being associated with the top people in the community that really care about what happens right in our own backyard. One more. Yes.
I'd say the lead position that Toledo Rotary takes in youth-oriented activities, youth education, disabled children, it's a wonderful position.
So the lead that Toledo Rotary takes with youth in terms of youth development and education. Thank you so much. So all of those things are worth celebrating, as well as I do, before I visit a club, I like to do a little personal research, a little Googling about you, a little social media stalking. And what I found and what strikes me or what jumps out at me is that the Toledo Rotary Club, first of all, you are the largest club within our district. And that makes you unique in a way, makes you special in a way, makes you that leading club that many look up to. But there are also some common themes that happen within other clubs that are also impacting Toledo Rotary. And I want to talk about those a little bit later. But you are a very giving club. Not only in your time, your talents, your monetary donations, the impact that you make for this community to make it a better place is something to be commended. The impact that you have here in Toledo, across the state, nationally, internationally. Again, you're creating that change. You focus on supporting your community. You have a strong tradition and reputation within the district. And not only that, but within the country and dare I say within Rotary International in a world scale. I was in Houston for the international convention, and I was riding a shuttle bus with a young lady like myself, that she asked where I was from, and when I told her I was with District 6600 and we were in Ohio, she immediately said, "Do you know of the Toledo Club?" Because she was from Minneapolis, she was also a member of a larger club, and she had met some of your members at that large club conference. So again, it's your reputation is, your story is known nationwide. And because of that, you have such a special gift to be able to make such lasting change and to make such a big impact. And so the first thing that I want to do today on behalf of the district of 6600 is to say thank you. I want to thank you for the time that you commit on Mondays, the time that you commit outside of this meeting, serving on your committees, being active within the club, finding ways to make a difference. I don't think people hear that enough. And so I want you to know that your work is not going unnoticed. Your work is important, and we're here to help you with that. So part of my speech, I can't leave education behind. So I really feel like it's my duty as governor to make sure that our members, from our newest member, and welcome to our newest members, to our most senior members, remember that connection that we have from Toledo to Rotary International. So as does every good company or organization, Rotary International does have a vision statement. It is supported by our current leader, Jennifer Jones, our Rotary International president, and it says, "Together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves." And Jennifer not only released the vision statement, but she asked us as district governors, as club presidents this year, to focus on 4 specific areas, 4 specific actions that we can take as Rotarians, as clubs, as districts, that will create that lasting impact that we're looking for. So area number 1, Jennifer wants us to increase our impact. So I often say to clubs, and this is a common theme that's going, COVID was hard. It did a lot to us personally. It did a lot to us as Rotary clubs. It did a lot to us as Rotarians. A lot of people reprioritized, looking for that balance. We have done so much good in the past, but we can't just sit back and continue to shout or praise all of the work that we have done. We have to look ahead and ask ourselves, what is it that we're going to do next? What is it that we're going to do as a Rotarian, as a club, to make that impact even bigger. You also see under here polio. Thank you for your club event for polio, for encouraging polio donations. Thank you to whomever that anonymous donor is that's willing to step up to say this is important. If that's where you make a bigger impact, awesome. I'm also here on a side note, while we're talking about polio, to congratulate you once again for being recognized by Rotary International as an End Polio Now dedicated club. So I'm going to present that to President Cindy. The second area of focus for this year is expand our reach. So the one I like to point out here is about telling our story. So many times as Rotarians in the past, especially with bigger donations, we've wanted to stay behind the curtain. We've wanted to stay kind of behind the scenes and just do good without looking for that recognition. But in order to help Rotary grow, we now have to, no matter what it is, make sure that we are telling our story. Because by telling our story, by sharing our why, it helps us to share the message of what Rotary is about and what good we do on a daily basis. I want to thank Toledo for participating in the district event where we planted 6,600 trees to help with water quality in our Maumee River. At that picnic, I met two professors from the University of Toledo who were told that they had to be there to represent the university because they were one of our partners and our collaborators. But as I sat and had lunch with them and they asked questions about what is Rotary about, and I've always heard about it, but I've never thought that I, as a Toledo professor, would be able to make a contribution or to join. Why are we trying to stay in the shadows? Why are we trying to stay secret? We want to shout from the rooftops all of the amazing things that we are doing as a club, as a Rotarian. So again, that's expanding our reach. Enhancing participant engagement. So Jennifer Jones' catchphrase for this one is care and comfort. You hear her talk about it all the time. Care and comfort of our members. As we host our club meetings or club events, do people feel welcome? Do we greet them? Do they feel like they have a purpose and a reason for being here? Rotary International's problem as a whole, and I would suspect that you may see this as well, we do a great job recruiting new members. We do an amazing job recruiting new members. In fact, at the district, I'm here to tell you that last month we recruited 99 new members for Rotary International, which is an awesome celebration. Our problem, we don't retain them. Too many people leave us within the first 6 months. So again, your recognition of that achievement is one to be celebrated. It's important. But how do we get that? How do we get members to remain engaged? We have to give them a role, a responsibility, whether it's serving on a committee, attending an event. We have to continue to encourage that, because if not, they're going to reprioritize and decide that there's something more important to do. And then finally, increase our ability to adapt. As I said earlier, COVID was hard, but we have to take the best of COVID, like Zoom, and being able to reach some of our members that can't be here in person, and combine that with what we had success in the past moving forward. So those are the 4 areas that she wants us to work on. As a district, our district leadership team got together, and these were our key words out of our strategic plan that we put together for this year. We want to mentor clubs. We want to encourage clubs. We want to help with innovative ideas, with encouraging collaboration, with providing training, with bringing family into Rotary. I often say that my family was so impacted by Rotary and gained so much from it. We want to share that with our children, with the next generation. Sorry, I forgot where I was going with that, so I'm going to go on. I apologize for that break in my train of thought. But the district is not here to tell Toledo Rotary what is important. We're not here to check boxes to make sure that you're hitting marks. We are here so that we can learn what your goals are for the year, what your challenges are, and to help provide that support, that encouragement, those resources. We have a tremendous amount of knowledge within our district. We have many in this room that I've seen at district events, helping with that training, helping prepare those next new members and new leaders. So again, I would encourage a continued partnership with the district, because together we can have such a bigger impact and we can make so many more things happen for Toledo, for our footprint in Ohio, for the world. And so I like to share just a few of those, what I call opportunities. As a Rotarian, I don't want you to think of, oh, I have to be at that event, or I have to go to that meeting, or I have to play golf or play tennis. I want it to be fun. I want it to be exciting. And more importantly, I want the have to be replaced with get to. Because I'm a Rotarian, I get to have this opportunity. I get to participate in our family fall fun fest coming up this Sunday in Pandora. I get to attend a peace conference that's going to be held at the UT Law Library on November 19th. I get to have the opportunity to learn about different cultures through youth exchange, sponsoring a student or accepting a student in. There are so many opportunities available for you because you're a Rotarian. And I think it's a shame, or it saddens me, that people don't always take advantage of that. One other thing I want to point out is, our continued support. Last spring, our district, with the help of Toledo, there was a quick conversation at our March Pets training in Columbus, and the Ukraine support. In 3 months' time, our district raised $187,000 in support for the Ukraine. We were the most generous district in our entire zone in terms of that support. And we continue to support those efforts, disaster efforts in Florida, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi. We have giving hearts, and we continue to make that positive impact. So I would encourage you to take advantage of an opportunity, whether it be on a personal level or a club level. Let's see what we can get done. So finally, I want to circle back to that mission, that vision statement that said creating lasting change. And I want to leave some time for questions, because questions truthfully are the favorite part of this presentation. When I joined Rotary in 2008, it was the same week that I was hired as school superintendent at Bryan City Schools. My school board president came to me and he said, "Diana, congratulations. You are going to be the next school superintendent. And by the way, on Friday, you're joining Rotary." That was my induction. Mine at the time was a have to, a must do. And maybe some of you in this room joined Rotary because you knew that it was going to be beneficial on a personal and professional level. And that's okay. But for me, Rotary had a lasting change on my family, on myself, because I started trying to figure out, how am I going to have success? How am I going to add or contribute to this very successful club filled with international CEOs, bankers, attorneys, lawyers, or I already said that, financial, community leaders? How am I going to make an impact? And I started it by saying yes. Yes, I will clean up roads. Yes, I will serve on that committee. Yes, I will attend that event. Yes, I will serve on the board. Yes, I will serve as president. And then I continued to say yes to district opportunities. My son, I mentioned that he moved to Alexandria, Virginia. Scariest weekend of my life as a mother, to take your 24-year-old son to the Washington, D.C. area where he knows no one. This was pre-COVID, but he was going to be working remote. I honestly did not even believe that his company existed. He picked up his work computer in a Target parking lot, an exchange of cars. He worked completely from his apartment. Getting his apartment was a whole nother story. Lesson learned, that's a great story for another time. But when he checked in with me, because we established this routine where he checks in every Wednesday. When he called me that first Wednesday after dropping him off, and he said, "Mom, guess what I did this week?" And I said, "What'd you do?" I have no idea. Big city, you're alone, scary thoughts go through my head. I joined Rotary. I joined Rotary because he knew that he was not going to be able to make connections with people without finding an organization that he knew he could trust. And that happened because of that have to. This is a not so great picture of my school building. In 2008, when I was hired, we were working on getting new schools. It was an uphill battle. I truly credit Rotary and the connections that I was able to make and the doors that were opened for me with being able to pass a $54 million bond issue on the first try. To build 2 new buildings that serve 2,200 students and families and will do so for the next 50 years. That's lasting change. That's Rotary. In the spring, I had the opportunity to take my first international trip. Again, because of Rotary. I got to do this. I got to meet 2 clubs in St. Vincent and the Grenadines that when they had a volcanic eruption of rock and ash, not lava, because when you hear volcano, I think lava. This was totally different. Rock as small as this bell, to as large as the tables, to as large as maybe half of this room came out of this volcano. And if that weren't enough, the hurricane came through right after and combined with the ash that was left on the rooftops to form a cement-like substance that caved in anything that was left standing. These 2 Rotary clubs responded by providing food and water for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the next 3 months to make sure people were fed and had water. And those 2 same Rotary clubs partnered with our district to make sure that they are creating lasting change for their community. And we are helping them to do that with some very small, in terms of US dollars, grants that we're working with them and partnering with them. So this year's Rotary theme is Imagine. The song played at the beginning of the meeting. Unfortunately, I usually have Imagine pins on your table at this point. I ran out. So I have to order more, and I promise I will get them to Cindy so that they can be distributed. But I want you, as a Rotarian, as a club, to imagine what is possible. What if we're all willing just to take one more step in our Rotary journey? What if we're willing to just do one more thing? And when the going gets tough, I am here, Ashley is here to help you along the way. And let's imagine what lasting change we can do together. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Diana, for all the encouragement and acknowledging the work that all of you are doing every week without really realizing the impact that you're having. So let's keep it up and let's keep things moving forward for the remainder, not of just this year, but all the years going forward. Travis and Kevin are going to need your help. So let's keep it going. With that, does anybody have any questions for Diana? Okay, yeah. Thank you. If you do, come up to the floor, Mike. You must have covered everything really well.
Well, I'll stick around.
Okay. With that, we have a few, oh, we do have one.
Yeah.
Hello. I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say that I'm not a Rotarian now, but I'm a former Rotary Youth Exchange student, and for District 6600, and it did change my life. It's been almost 30 years. I'm actually going to visit my host family in 2 weeks, and talking about a life changer, that's what I want for this young woman that I brought with me, Monique Harris. She is a prospective Rotary Youth Exchange student, and I'm really hoping that she will be able to have her life changed as well, because it completely altered the course of my life. So thank you, Rotary, for that.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Diana, so much for coming, and Ashley for you coming today as well. And to thank you, we have a few gifts, like I was going to say. First off, we have a book, Historical Tales of Toledo, that was written by one of our former presidents, Clint Mauk.
Wonderful.
We will be making a donation to the Polio Plus Fund in your name. And since we are the Glass City, we have a glass piece from the Toledo Museum of Art for you. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, and as Diana mentioned, we will be hosting the Peace Conference on November 19th. We have a meeting this Wednesday, so look for next week to have a little bit more information on that. And now I'd like to invite Chuck Mann up to the microphone to give us a little bit of Chuck's Chuckles.
Walks into a bar with a duck under his arm. The bartender says, "Hey, what are you doing with that pig?" The man says, "Are you blind? That's not a pig, that's a duck." The bartender says, "I was talking to the duck." A polar bear walks into a bar and says to the bartender, "I'll have a gin and tonic." The bartender asks, "Why the big pause?" And the polar bear replies, "I don't know, I've always had them." And finally, two friends are walking their dogs together. One has a big black lab while the other one has a minuscule chihuahua. They pass a bar and the lab owner says, "Let's get a beer." The chihuahua walker complains, "That would be great, but we can't take our dogs in there." The first one responds, "Watch me." The lab owner strolls in with her dog and orders a beer. The bartender tells her, "Sorry, you can't bring your dog in here." "He's my seeing eye dog," the woman replies, feigning offense. The bartender quickly apologizes and serves the beer. The other woman follows, her chihuahua in tow, and orders a beer as well. Again, the bartender says there are no dogs allowed in the bar. "He's my seeing eye dog," the woman replies. "Yeah, right," the bartender says. "The chihuahua? Give me a break." Without missing a beat, the woman replies, "Wait, they gave me a chihuahua?"
Next week, we will not be here at the library. On the 24th, we will be over at the Glass City Center joining the St. Francis students for their Global Solution Leadership Symposium. The keynote speaker that day is Joanna Chavez, the Senior Vice President and Chief Legal Officer of DTE Energy. So we'll be having lunch normal at noon, and we encourage all of you to arrive by 11:30. The following week, we will be doing a networking activity again like we did in the spring. We'll be here at the library at noontime, and Luke and his vocational committee are working hard to put something together for us. And be sure to bring some of your business cards or any of your materials that you might want to share with your table mates that day. And today we have 3 committee meetings. Membership committee will be meeting here in the large classroom over in the back corner. Vocational services will be in the community room 10, just over that way. And finance committee will be meeting in the room downstairs in the room closest to the parking garage. And with that, I thank you all for coming today. Thank you, Diana and Ashley and our guests, and the meeting is adjourned.